I have a Redragon keyboard. This model keyboard is S107. It's a very inexpensive keyboard, but actually it's kind of cool for how much it cost. I dropped it very hard, and since then these keys that have been removed, their caps have been removed, stopped functioning entirely. They just don't respond. The board doesn't recognize them. The computer doesn't recognize. Nothing happens. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this keyboard apart, and we're gonna see if we can't see an obvious reason why it's broke or whatever, and try to repair it. That's the goal. So the first thing we're gonna do is find the screws on the back. It looks like it's all Phillips. So let's get a Phillips screwdriver. Here we go. There's always a hidden screw behind a label somewhere you gotta check, because that's how they check to see if you've opened it, if you're somehow warranty, although I don't think that's the case here. Alright, let's shake out the remaining screws. There's one sticking right here. And slamming it, that's sort of probably not. Alright, let's see if we can't open this. There's one hidden behind the foot here. Yeah, it's fine. All right, cool. There we go. They're out. I got one I dropped. There we go. All right, examining. We have this is the. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Well, we knew these key switches were membrane. This may not happen. Unfortunately. Let's see if we can't get this. This is the RGB, by the way, LED panel. So if at all nothing else, we'll have an RGB panel we could repurpose for a lot of things, I'm sure. This is the remaining. Yeah, so a drop caused this? Well, let's see. All right, so being a membrane keyboard, there's no physical soldered parts or anything, and I knew that kind of going in, but I thought to myself, well, maybe, right? Maybe there's still something we can salvage. So that's really glued in there. I'm gonna take this. I'm wondering if the drop caused this contact strip to be not where it needs to be. It may just not be making continuity on all fronts. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen that up, slide that back out, get a look at it. Yeah. Okay, how about this board? If there's damage to the board, is that a possibility as to why things are not functioning correctly? Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of grab it and push it into. I'm going to see if maybe that's all it was, is that this got, when it got dropped, perhaps it slid out of socket, and so not all of the contacts were making continuity. Aha! We did find a problem. Alright, so that's definitely what it is. So the so the problem is that this bar is not squishing the whole contact alignment. So like these last few contacts are not making continuity with that board, and I bet you that whatever traces these are that go to these various keys, they're the ones that aren't working, and I bet you it's because there's some broken plastic underneath it here. So what we're gonna do is try to come up with a way to fix that. So unless I want to like 3D print some sort of replacement mount for all of this, which I really don't, it's just not worth the time and hassle to design this section or somehow find another way to stick this in here. I think what I'm going to do is just glue the contacts to this. I've seen this done in the past and with tape as well. So let's get some adhesive and go from there. Here we go. Let's get a screwdriver down on this, make sure those contacts are lined up. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of push on the edge and on the edge. And same thing here, make sure they're lined up, get some goop and some goop. And again over here, some goop. And now that there's enough glue to keep it that way forever, we're going to take this and kind of just go along. So this is pretty fast setting. Hopefully we can get this to stay down. Yeah. And the main thing is that I don't really want the glue on the contacts itself. I want them on the edge of this plastic sheet here. It ensures that those contacts are touching the traces. So let's hope for the best here. Okay, what we're gonna do is while that's setting, we're going to push this down on top of it and really just kind of hold it down on the edges and in the middle without getting super glue on my fingers, because that would make this very annoying. As the glue sets, hopefully that glues it to the strap. Now we're going to do that right just in the middle. Okay. Again, the idea here, I might just stick the other one out. That screw hole is gone. The middle one is cracked, but it is still grabbing some thread. But I don't want to tighten down my left side, because I don't want it to be off kilt, which is what it was before. So I think this should fix it. Okay, so we got Windows fired up. The laptop I'm using is kind of a piece of junk, but we're going to plug in the keyboard. The LEDs work. And we're going to sit here and push on the keys that don't work. See what happens. We got a G, H, N, M, comma, slash caps lock working. Yep. Number lock working. Yep. 0 button. Yep, it's fixed. So all of the buttons that were not working are now working. So that's all it was. When it got dropped, very simple fix. I knew it was membrane style, so I wasn't sure what we were going to have behind each physical plunger. But the board is very simple. Those traces, I mean, there's not like any soldering or anything to do on this. That little control board up in the front here, that was the whole trouble, is when this dropped, that those 3 screw mounts cracked, and so it got loose. Little contacts were not all making contact, and the traces associated with each of these key switches weren't touching, and so therefore no buttons. Then now we have a fully functional keyboard again, albeit cheap. It's still RGB backlit, sort of. You see, you got your various colors. Worth fixing. I mean, either way, like I said, I could take those lights out of there too and do something fun with them. But there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and if you did, give me a thumbs up. And as one of my favorite YouTubers says, remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thank you for watching. If you can name who that is, leave a comment, and you'll get a crisp high five from me.